Crit podcast. I'm your host and resident film freak, Ben Filipkowski.
And I am Farrah Sarpkaya, a person who loves film, but like in a super chill, do I want to be Trinity or do I want to be with Trinity sort of way?
And today we are talking about The Matrix. Unfortunately, no one can be told what The Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. But I'll try to do it justice here. Written and directed by the Wachowskis and starring Keanu Reeves, Lawrence Fishburne, Carrie-Anne Moss, Hugo Weaving, and Joe Pantoliano, The Matrix came out in 1999. Reeves plays a man who has two lives. In one life, he's Thomas A. Anderson, program writer for a respectable software company. The other life is lived in computers, where he goes by the hacker alias Neo and is searching for a hacking legend and terrorist, named Morpheus. Faced with threats from implacable federal agents, Neo makes contact with Morpheus through Trinity, herself a legendary hacker. Morpheus reveals the truth to Neo. The entire world is a vast computer simulation called the Matrix, run by malicious artificial intelligences that have enslaved the human race. These machines have plugged humanity into the Matrix to keep them docile and to harness their heat and bioelectricity to support their energy needs. Some humans, however, remain free, fighting an eternal war against the machines. What's more, Morpheus is convinced that Neo is the One, a human prophecy to turn the tide in the battle against the machines and free human minds from the shackles of the Matrix. Of course, as they always do, things get complicated along the way. Morpheus is captured by the machines, Neo doesn't believe the prophecy, and their crew faces betrayal before they're able to rescue their leader. This movie had me in an absolute chokehold when I first saw it at the tender and possibly too young age of 9. I still love it to this day. Farrah, I know you've seen this before, so I have to ask you when you first saw it and what you remember of it then, and what was it like revisiting it for the show?
I mean, I feel like I saw it somewhere around its release, but I truly don't remember because I, being an only child, both watched a bunch of stuff that was wildly inappropriate for me at the time because I just watched things with my parents and missed a lot of stuff that was like peak film at the time because my parents didn't care and I didn't really, So like, I'm pretty sure I saw it somewhere around Y2K, but like, who knows, man? It's somewhere in the ether. What I do remember is that I feel like I loved it. I definitely loved it the next time I saw it, yeah. And or at least this most recent time. I don't know. But I think what I took away from it this time was just how funny it is.
Yeah.
Which, like, the last few times I watched it, I'm sure it was very much like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is epic. The effects are rad as hell. Like, everything about it is great. Mm-hmm. Carrie-Anne Moss is gorgeous. The cast is amazing. All these things. But this time, yeah, it was just so funny. And I just didn't remember how many good moments it does not take itself seriously in. And there's something about making this really philosophical, epic, like action flick with bullet time and all this stuff that was so cool, and like the end of the world and AI is taking over everything, and also dodge this, pew, and I'm like, girl, yeah. Let's go. Like, it's so good. But the comedy aspect of it is not this movie's legacy. It is a highly influential, very it was both a very important movie when it came out and now to this day, I think, particularly now, because somehow we keep picking movies that are politically relevant by accident, I think. I don't know. But anyway, Ben, you wanted to talk about how this is the most influential movie of the last 30 years. Talk to me about that.
Yeah. This is the most influential movie of the last 30 years. I think like it's really easy now to forget how big a deal this was when it came out.
Yeah.
I feel like growing up in like relatively small towns, I think a friend of mine at school had rented it. And he's like, you got to watch this. And we watched it. And I was just like, oh my God, this is incredible. This is the best thing ever. And you barely understand half of it because you're a kid.
Of course.
And yeah, I think like it's easy to forget that there were other movies that came out in 1999 that are immediately referencing this. Like
Hmm.
the bullet time parodies and references and homages are everywhere in like probably, let's be honest, like for like the next 8 years or so. Like it's the mid
Hmm.
2000s. Um and certainly that's helped by the fact that there are two sequels to this movie that also come
Hmm.
out within short order that continue that kind of like relevance, and keep it in the public consciousness. But like I think in terms of like the visual style of this, the kind of like impact that this has had on effects driven movies and really just like pushing like high concept movies to somewhere new. Like you didn't really have movies that um there was a quote from one of the Wachowskis and they were saying it's like you had I'm paraphrasing here, but it was like you had movies with ideas but no action, and you had action movies but with no ideas, and they wanted to put the two together.
Hmm.
And there are big ideas in this, but also they're really cool shootouts and kung fu fights, and uh, I don't know. There's just visually this obviously had such a huge impact on films around it because they're movies that wind up inspired by the sort of like choreography, fight choreography, this the visual flair that they add to things, the special effects in particular. Um, but also you get like a kind of pop cultural influence in that like the pop up phone was like the
Oh my
coolest
God.
thing ever. Everyone wanted like cool sunglasses, like all the
Yeah.
characters in this. The style and the vibe, all of it incredible.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, as I'm saying all this, I am thinking that like potentially I'm overstating it because I think that I don't know, like parody is not the only like uh measure or metric of influence, but it I don't know, this feels like a really crucial movie for kind of like modern film, and it came out at the right time, and it had the right sort of impact. And
Hmm.
yeah, obviously, you get that flash in the pan. Like every like Shrek has a parody of
Yeah.
Trinity's cool crane kick, where everything like
Yes.
freezes and the camera pans around before the action continues. Neo doing the like throw himself backwards to slow mo dodge the bullets. The
Hmm.
iconic bullet time moment is referenced in everything. But I think that this kind of like showed that there was a desire for movies with a bit more visual flair for these kind of special effects. Action could be something interesting. You could have cool ideas in these movies. You could take big swings like this. But also, it kind of paved the way for getting a lot of Chinese and other Asian martial arts movies released in North America.
Hmm.
The fight choreographer on this went on to do Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, which was
Nice.
like an Academy Award darling. Like it's a smash hit in North America, not as big a deal in its country of origin, but yeah, I don't know. It's just such a cool movie. It did so much, and it's really easy to kind of forget how unique and singular this movie feels and the way that that clearly inspired a ton of other people.
Hmm. I mean, it's also important to note that, like, back in '99, the special effects that we saw here were like a big
Revolutionary. Yeah.
deal. Yeah,
Yeah.
they were so cool and so like, oh my God, they did what?
Hmm.
That's bananas. So like, I think you're right. It was highly influential. I think it's also one of those things where, and I think we talked about this during the Pretty Woman episode, which is a weird thing to reference with The Matrix, but there's something about popular movies where so many people dismiss out of pocket anything that's like, oh, this is popular, so it must not be smart or good or whatever.
Hmm.
But the whole reason why popular movies are popular is because they speak to a lot of people, right? Like Pretty Woman, clever, funny, has a lot of heart, whatever. very popular, but often dismissed as, just a chick flick, right? The Matrix, visually stunning, like, with a heavy philosophical covering over this action movie. But I think one of the things that we see, and I could just be making things up, but from my like perspective, I don't know.
Mhm.
The Matrix often in popular culture can be very pared down to just what a cool action movie.
Mhm.
But I think it's the philosophical overlay of questioning self, of technology, of that feeling of not quite, is this it? Like all
Mhm.
these things spoke really strongly to particularly the audiences of 1999, but also, hello, it's 2026 and AI is everywhere, etc. And so this preoccupation with technology and how scary it is that everything is changing, and is this really all there is such a basic human feeling that, like, of course it spoke to people, you know? I think that's so incredibly relatable to just about anybody. And like, we all have main character syndrome. That's just being alive, right? And Neo's search for the answer to his question is just so fundamental to the human experience, which feels so uh dramatic for me to say. And I feel very, very pretentious saying it, but it's true. Like, I go to my day job and I do my little beep boops on the computer, and then I go play some moving pixels around a screen, or like I talk about moving pixels on a screen on my little podcast and hope that y'all enjoy it. And like, that's my life. I don't. Is that it? That's it. That's all it is. And what does that mean? And is there more to it? And like, it's just so human with all its highfalutin technology.
Yeah.
All it is a very human story, and that grips people.
Yeah.
And it's, bonus if there's, kick butt cast members and also some cool effects. Like,
Yeah.
it's, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, I guess, like, to that point, this is also, this is a movie that's better than people remember it being, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's a tendency to really focus on, like, that overlay of, and super, let me rephrase. There's like a tendency to have a superficial focus on that overlay of philosophy and not think of it as like to just like be like, oh wow, like reality, what is real, what is that's there. Obviously there's a
Yeah.
lot more going on, I think. There's some more interesting ideas in that, and to kind of be like, yeah, and it's a cool action movie and Keanu Reeves can't act. I don't think that's the case. I think that this has really incredible performances. I
Oh,
think
for sure.
like Keanu kind of being the punching bag for being a wooden actor is like a bit of a meme at this point, because he's shown time and time again he's actually a really competent performer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he does a great job in this. He's a fish out of water. He freaks out several times because this is a freaky situation, and it's not until he starts like building his skills and his confidence that he becomes that kind of like stoic presence
Mm-hmm.
in this film. And I mean, like you also have Lawrence Fishburne being king of the Stoics, but like having that kind of like humanity and depth of warmth and leadership to him. Like you understand that there's a conviction to this character,
Yeah.
um, but also he's kind of Morpheus is kind of scary because when we first encounter him, it's like, what is this guy, crazy, or is this all
Yeah.
for real? And that doesn't really leave, because even faced with seemingly impossible odds, Morpheus is still this like, I have faith, I believe, and that's a little spooky at times.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have, I mean, like you have your antagonist is your antagonists are Agent Smith, who is this
Oh.
implacable, inhuman, uh, air quotes federal agent, but it's actually just a machine program, a sentient program who hunts
Yeah.
down rogue humans. and despises his lot in life. You
Sad.
have Joey Pants himself, Joe Pantoliano, as Cypher, the
Jerk.
uh,
I
a
love
very
him, but
yeah, it's such a good
jerk.
performance.
So
Yeah,
good.
he's so slimy, and you hate him,
Yeah.
but you also kind of get where he's coming from at the same
Mm-hmm.
time. Um,
Absolutely.
and I think like I think this is a much better movie than people remember it being because I'm repeating myself here, but yeah, like it isn't just those stylistic things. There's a really cool structure in here. We actually get to see the characters change and grow. Like Neo's growth is really cool to see. The fight scenes, it every character has their own fighting style, which not
Mm-hmm.
only reflects their character but reflects who they are as a performer as well.
Yeah.
There's some really interesting things that they do there. Uh, a lot of the detail that they use in the world building can get glossed over because we kind of think of like, yeah, the real world is dull and bland and has this kind of sheen to it. But like Neo in the office is his office is just like the most depressing high rise imaginable.
Yes.
His suit is a little too small for him, so he's kind of like
Mm-hmm.
tense at all
Clenching and
times,
yeah.
and he looks out of place in it. Like it's got that like brown. I think it's the brown suit, but then you see the liner of it is like a mustard color, and you're like, why would
It's the
you?
same lining color as the agent's has, I
Yeah,
believe,
yeah,
which is
and
a
it's ooh,
fantastic detail.
yeah, and I mean, like the movie begins and ends in the same location, which is something that can kind
Mhm.
of get forgotten because Trinity's escape is at the heart of the city hotel, I think it is, and Neo's last final showdown with Smith is in the same hotel. It's like the same
Yeah.
hallway. Um, yeah, I don't know. There's like a lot of cool stuff that gets set up in the intro that becomes more relevant later on, but not necessarily in a foreshadowing way. Just kind of
Hmm.
like I don't know. There's structurally, I think this movie should get a lot more praise. I think there's a lot of really cool stuff going on, and the way that it engages with the ideas that it presents is very fun and very smart in a lot of ways. But I think it's also there's a lot in here that is also kind of flying by under the radar. Uh, and I think you and I were talking about this a little beforehand, but like the very clear like queer readings that you could have of
Hmm.
character and plot and theme in this.
Yeah.
Um, very explicit now because for those who don't know, the Wachowskis were the Wachowski brothers back in 1999, and both have since come out as transgender. They're the Wachowski sisters and are credited as the Wachowskis when they work together.
Hmm.
And like the idea that you have characters in this who feel something's off, something's out of place in the
Yeah.
Matrix is just so. How can you not read that
Hmm.
as a as some sort of commentary or hint at this experience?
Yeah. We also have in the real world, quote unquote, the real world, where they have removed from the Matrix so many characters who present as non-binary. Like we don't they by which I mean visually they do not ascribe to the gender norms of
Mm-hmm.
male or female. And so like the idea that we in the real world they're very strong like you are either female or male, there are no whatever.
Yeah.
But at the same time when Neo at the top of the movie goes to the club, the cage dancers are men, which I noticed immediately and I was like cuz usually it's sexy ladies. That's usually when there's a cage dancer, it's a hot lady. And they did not, it was, I think it's a bear and a twink. And I was just like, oh, hello. Thank you for not, not just immediately like hot girls. And like the continued shift around what does it mean to really, know thyself, therefore I am in both the real world and just generally that narrative flows through the whole thing because like I don't know I when I watched this I forgot how Neo goes from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure to John Wick. Like, it's a very, like, gradual transition from, dude, where's my car? Which I know that is not Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. To, you know, you killed my dog, prepare to die. Like, he does such a good job with that hardening. And visually, as he does continue, every time he enters the Matrix, the way he looks changes. So he goes from this ill-fitting suit or his, you know, t-shirt and sweatpants back in his apartment to this super cool long leather trench coat, tight jeans, tight t-shirt, like guns everywhere, feeling just so confident in himself. And that, to get that aesthetic, that visualization of himself, he goes back into the Matrix.
Well,
which is kind of a fun, like, okay, but yeah, he has to go back into the pretend place to do what he is destined to do.
Yeah.
And that's where his vision of himself really shows, which is just so many layers of fun.
Well, they also call out early on when Neo's Neo's being exposited to about the Matrix in a really effective way by Morpheus, and Neo's like, well, why am I wearing this? Like, he's wearing like his a light jacket and a pair of jeans, and Morpheus is like, that's your residual self-image. Like, this is how you see yourself. Therefore, that's how you appear in the Matrix. And so the idea that the character's appearances in the Matrix are like an idealized presentation of the self. Once they are freed from the Matrix and are able to jack back in, is a really like, I wonder what read we could have on that. That's interesting. But also, like, the character switch. So I believe she's wearing everyone's wearing black and she's wearing white.
Yes.
And I think the original intent was that in the real world, Switch would be a different gender and would be the gender presenting as a different gender in the Matrix, which would be much more explicit for that kind of trans theme, that gender, the dysphoria, gender dysphoria experience, and that didn't wind up making the cut. But there's a lot of really interesting commentary from Lily and Lana Wachowski now, talking about their experience, like writing it and being like, in hindsight, this is absolutely like an allegory for our experiences as trans women. It's just, like, that stuff is so fascinating to me, that they managed to do so much of that in what is like a big budget, mainstream effects driven action movie. And it has these themes woven into it in such a deeply resonant way. It's incredible.
It's so cool. And it makes me, like, if I think about how we sell, how movies are marketed, how movies are made, the choices that are made kind of at those upper levels to be like, we need to make this thing to be this market and these people, this audience or whatever. This is going to be super reductive, and I don't care. Oftentimes, if we think of how different genders are approached with things like attraction and sexuality and relationships and whatever, there is a trope that men are very simple. It's simple. They can love a thing or a person or a whatever, and that's it. That's good. Women are, again, tropes, whatever, are very much, I need all of these details to be attracted to a person. And as someone who is demisexual, right? Like, I'm not attracted to like a person, a physical person. There's got to be some other stuff going on, right?
Yeah.
And this movie feels like an action movie version of, I don't want just the action movie, I want all the other stuff that goes with it. Which is an absurd metaphor, but I think it really speaks to the complexity that, like, people want in movies a lot
Yeah.
of the time that we don't necessarily see as much, because we are now a lot of movies are reduced to, oh, it's just an action movie, oh, it's just a chick flick. No, give me all of it. I just
Yeah.
throw it all in a pot, and I want to feast on this funny, smart action movie with a little bit of romance and a little bit of mystery and like a whole lot of comedy and whatever. And that's just make a meal out of that for me, because that's what The Matrix is. Like, that's how I feel.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, even continuing, like, so I have to bring up, I think we've talked a little bit about legacy here. So I think I also have to bring up the fact that one of the most frustrating parts of the legacy of this is how certain groups will co-opt ideas and imagery from it. It's the idea of like the red pill being the thing that wakes you up to the truth.
Yeah.
Has been co-opted by, and I do not want to spend too much time on this, but has been co-opted by certain groups online who use it to basically justify hating women, hating people of color, etc., etc., etc. Which is really funny because the movie itself is such a pointed, like, hey, who are all the good guys fighting the evil? Like, who do you think the good guys are? They are all women. They are all queer. They are all people of color. All the revolutionaries are the traditionally marginalized group. Traditionally marginalized. Boy, that's a depressing pair of words to say. The people who have been groups of people who have been marginalized throughout history. I mean, it's like it's
like Star Wars, man.
Yeah,
people are like so like obsessed with Star Wars, and then they're the people that you're like, well, you would be against the revolution based on everything that you have said to me.
Yeah.
Like, you're pro Vader. Let's be real here.
Yeah.
As a woman on the internet, I don't want to be too, whatever. It is such an interesting thing to me that the term incel, with quotation marks, was coined by a woman first. And like the involuntarily celibate thing was meant to originally to be like a support thing for people who were that, and how it has evolved. And then you see The Matrix, and you see all these other medias that have evolved into being something that is used to harm the people that it was originally built by. And it just makes me want to flip a table, you know?
Yeah. And, I wasn't the biggest fan of The Matrix Resurrections, which is the fourth movie that came out 2021, I think. The most recent movie. But I watched it and learning a bit more about the making of that movie was really interesting, because it was it was one of those cases of like, hey, the studio's saying we're going to make this movie whether you, the Wachowskis, are involved or not. And here's your chance. And I think only Lana Wachowski came on board because she was like, I might as well like
protect might
as well protect these ideas. And there's a lot of really interesting stuff that she's said around the making of that movie, which is fascinating. But that movie is also like so explicitly like, hey, all those people co-opting the ideas from the original trilogy, stop doing that. You're the bad guy. Like, you are the problem. You are the machine we are raging against.
Yeah.
Who
put this politics in my very political, philosophical movie?
Yeah.
Shocking.
Yeah. And my final note on that, I guess, is also like the end of this movie. Neo has this big like phone call to the agent, to the powers that be in the Matrix. And he steps out of the phone booth before he does his Superman thing. And as he does his Superman thing, the Rage Against the Machine song "Wake Up" kicks off. That is a song that is about how allegedly, I don't think that's allegedly, but about how federal agents have like put down organized movements from people
Yeah.
of color from marginalized groups.
Hmm.
It is a song that explicitly talks about how the feds went after Malcolm X uh, and MLK. So
Rad.
it's like, hmm, there's some ideas.
Hmm.
There's some feelings and ideas about the world in here
Yes.
that we really should probably pay a little bit more attention to instead of just being like, oh, wow, cool, gunshots,
Cool
slow motion.
movie.
Yeah,
Bend backwards slow.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's there's wow. My voice hasn't broken like that in years. I think there's a
It's a glitch in the Matrix.
yeah, clearly. I haven't had deja vu today, but who knows. Yeah, it's that's another place where I'm like, I just want my movie to be a meal. Like, okay, listen, sometimes your girl loves a good Jason Statham where it's just dude real good at shooting gun. Check.
Yeah,
Like that's great. I love a good Jason Statham
yeah.
or like whatever. That's fine. But also I'm not going to go on a tangent about how much I love Jason Statham movies. But um the idea that a film can be a million different things is why I love stories told by diverse storytellers.
Yeah.
Because when you just get the same story over and over and over and over and over again by the same person, and we'll talk about this in our next episode, for which I'm very excited, it gets reductive, it gets boring, and it gets just like it's simple but not in like a good way, because I think, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, like The Matrix is very simple in certain philosophical regards.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, I get to use my philosophy degree. But it is that shift in perspective and that application of a different worldview and different experience that really makes it special and really makes it help us, the audience, regardless of whether or not you're part of the LGBTIQ community, regardless of like anything else. That feeling of, that very human feeling, like I said, of being, is this it? Is so pervasive, and seeing it told in a unique way, in a new way, or a different way, whatever, helps us build those communities around us, because we can reach across the aisle and be like, I understand that, even if I don't understand all of the other stuff. And it just, it's so good. I just love it so much. This movie is really cool.
Yeah.
And that's your next bullet point on our conversational guardrails. And can I just say, because apparently this is just what I pay attention to in movies, because I'm a very visual person. Every time I saw that, like, old school computer green shining out of a window, I was just like, this is great. I love this so much. Like, visually, it's such a cool, visually stunning, very thoughtful film, and the way they play with color and light in the drabness, particularly of the Matrix, like the world that we know as the real world, is so good.
Yeah.
Such a beautiful visual signature.
Just like visually in general, it looks incredible. Like I was saying, I just got this on 4K on disc in 4K. Holy cow, looked amazing. That said, I almost blinded myself with the HDR settings because I was like, oh yeah, it's a dark movie. I'm going to turn the lights off. It's late at night. I'm sitting on the couch watching it, and there's like a flash of light, and I'm like getting blinded as much as the characters are. But yeah, truly, truly incredible to watch. And it just it has such a flair. Like the opening with like the text and the code on screen, the green code on a black screen.
Yeah.
And it zooms in and then like through the wires, and we are kind of treated to the, I think the first characters we see are the cops who are like posted up outside the hotel, and then the agents arrive wearing their sunglasses at night, and the cops are like, we got it's just like one lady. Like
Yeah.
we got her
How much
covered.
bad can one lady
Yeah.
do?
It's like I sent 2 squads, and Agent Smith, and we don't know who's good or who's bad, really,
Yep.
at this point. Is like, uh, no, Lieutenant, your men are already dead. And we're like, okay, sure. And then, of course, like the cops approach Trinity. We don't know
Hmm.
that she's Trinity just this moment, but um, Carrie Ann Moss in the full leather outfit.
Ugh,
And she puts her
truly
hands on the back of her
delight.
head. The cop approaches, and she just like ruins his day. Uh, Immediately breaks his arm, does the cool
Oh,
jump up with like the crane kick, and the camera
yes.
freezes the scene and rotates around them to just be
Oh,
like, look how cool this is going to be. And she kicks him.
yep.
The guy smashes into the wall. She wipes the floor with the other officers who were sent up
Hmm.
before booking it, and the little chase scene is so cool too, because like visually this is also interesting, but it's also setting up the world for us. Um,
Yep.
and you're like, how's she gonna get away? She's just gonna jump across a full on like primary city street from one building to
Yep.
the next.
Hmm.
The agent is going to follow her. The cops are going to say that's impossible because that is impossible. Um,
Yes.
and then oh man, I'm just recapping the movie. I shouldn't do that, but it's
But
such a good intro. Yeah,
yeah, it's a very good example of show don't tell
yeah,
because we have like we know the physics of the real world enough to know that that's impossible, but also the fact that they're like, no, this is not
yeah.
doable, and the fact that we have these very sketchy. God, Hugo Weaving is so good at being scary. He's so good at it.
Yeah.
Um, and the way we don't like I was about to say the way we don't know what's about to happen. That's just how movies work. But like the world building that culminates in this woman standing in a phone booth with a truck barreling towards her
Yeah.
is so cool. Because then she's gone, and you're like, "Oh my god, what
Yeah.
happened?" And now we have our main character, and you're like, "What?"
Yeah. Yeah. Just like the kind of like techno goth vibes of
Mm-hmm.
all these characters, really cool.
Yep.
Um, I love the bit of Trinity meeting Neo, and it's like, you're Trinity, and she's like, yeah, and he's like, I thought you were a
Yeah.
guy. She says most guys do.
Yep. Uh-huh.
You kind of like, you get the moment in you get this feeling that like in the moment Neo has to be like, Neo has gone from like, Trinity's the coolest dude ever, I want to be like, I got to be bros with
Mm-hmm.
Trinity, to like, oh damn, Trinity's hot.
Yeah.
I might
I
be into
mean,
Trinity.
it was my quip at the top, right?
Yeah.
Do I want to be Trinity or do I want to be with Trinity? Yes,
Yeah.
is the answer to the question.
And God, yeah, it's just like the movie kind of just moves from there,
Yeah.
and the
It's such
incredible,
good pacing.
yeah, the real world stuff is terrifying but really effective. I
Hmm.
love the set design of the ship, the Nebuchadnezzar. Um, I love the training montage of everything. Like, I
Oh,
love
yeah.
the, because you just talked about how this is like you just talked about how there's a really great show don't tell moment.
Hmm.
This is actually a movie that does a lot of telling instead of
Yeah.
showing.
Uh-huh.
It exposits so much at us, but it doesn't matter because it's done well. Like the
Hmm.
dialogue is fun, the ideas are interesting, and they present
Yeah.
it with interesting visual flair around you, and it kind of culminates in the I mean, you get the iconic Neo's training is literally like, we're going to load up some cool martial arts programs into your brain through this
Yeah.
jack on the back of your head.
Hmm.
And you get the iconic, I know Kung Fu. And Morpheus is like, show me. And then we get the coolest fight scene in the
So
movie. I
good.
think the coolest fight scene in the movie.
Yeah,
Um,
it's good. And then I also love because they also give us that moment where everybody is huddled around because someone goes into the canteen and they're like, they're fighting, and everyone goes to run to watch on these bitty little like two-tone screens. It's incredible. It's so vintage, which is a phrase I'd never thought I'd say about something that happened while I was alive. But anyway, and they get to a point where the next task is jumping over this thing like Trinity did. And everyone's insisting he's not going to make it. And Trinity's like, you got to do it. Because that, to them, is the sign that he is the one.
Yeah.
He does, spoilers, he doesn't make it.
Because no one makes it on their first try.
Because no one makes it on their first run.
But what if he does?
But what if he... I know. They do a really good job setting up tension. But I think it does a really great job to bookend, kind of to your point, like the talking about how they've set up the story and the journey through how Neo is growing and all these things. How we go from this dude in a kind of ill-fitting outfit stumbling off a cliff off a building to I can jump into an agent and it doesn't matter because it's not real. And like that dichotomy that they give us is so smart and so fun, and like it's so simple. Like, I don't want to make this sound like this is a big complex highfalutin movie idea. It's not. It's simple, and it's beautiful in its simplicity.
And I think, well, you also ahead of our recording kind of talked me down from my whole like the philosophy is really basic. I was like, I mean, but you can go deeper with it for sure. So kudos to you for reminding me of that. Because, like, a lot of this is, like, Cartesian philosophy. The Plato's allegory of the cave is probably, like, the most common touch point. And there's even, like, I can't remember who the philosopher is, but there's, like, the brain in the jar thought experiment that kind of floats around. That's kind of explicitly one of the inspirations for this movie. But like,
I want to pause.
Yeah.
So if you have not read The Republic, which is Plato's Republic, the allegory of the cave is basically a prisoner is sat in a cave looking at the back wall of the cave, and they see all the shadows happening on the cave, and that's what they think is reality. And then they are released from this cave into the real world, into the sunlight, and they see all of the things that are true in the world. And that's what this philosophical allegory is, right?
Yeah.
And I just wanted to intersect because that's not everybody knows that.
No, 100%. And I think like a lot of those ideas are. I think there's a lot of like attention paid to like there is no spoon. It's like, well, because this is a computer program. That's the entire plot. They're in a computer program. None of this is real, but your mind makes it real. They're very explicit about this. And I think, like...
Therefore you are?
Yeah, I think therefore I are. I think therefore I is. I think that there's kind of like... for a bit there, it felt like there was a bit of a... Not quite a cottage industry, but a whole lot of people really making a mountain out of... all the philosophy in this. I think you can certainly. I don't mean to say that you cannot and should not dig deeper into it, but you know, I was complaining to you about how at university there's the little book stand with like the philosophy of the Matrix, the philosophy of the Dark Knight, the philosophy of Spider-Man, the philosophy of comic books, and it was like
I think I have the philosophy of Veronica Mars. It's kind of great.
Yeah, and it's like that's all great, but you know, you can just engage with it as you see fit. I don't know.
Of course. I mean, that's true of anything, right?
Yeah,
we talked last time about like death of the author and the auteur theory and all this stuff. And I think there's a place for that here.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know. It is very explicit in its references. So it's like one of those things where, yes, you know, death of the author, once it is delivered unto you, you may do with it what you will. Yeah. And also they were very intentional about literally putting philosophy books in it. There's a make some noise bit, and I don't remember which, I can picture him in my head, which comedian it was. But it was with Kate McKenna, I think, and Ross something. Anyway, not Bryant. But it's like two movie critics analyzing the water bottle left on the set of a film or something by accident. And sometimes when we talk about this stuff, I feel like that, that we could, in theory, go so deep in the weeds of all of this if we wanted to, which is kind of the fun of it, right? That's literally why we're here.
Yeah.
And we could examine every single screen and the different action movie styles and the different philosophies, and we could go and read every book that Lily and Lana Wachowski read and all these things. But also, you can also watch it and it's cool.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Yeah, I'm not trying to say don't dig into the philosophy of this. I guess my argument is I think that there are a lot of people who are this is got crazy deep. You have to have a BA in philosophy to understand this movie. It's I really don't think you do. I think this is a pretty straightforward movie. You can engage with those themes should you so desire. What's the apocryphal Freud quote? Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar.
Yeah.
Sometimes the thing's just cool in this thing, and that's fine. Doesn't mean you can't go deeper though. Yeah, I'm just thinking about now, structurally, I'm jumping around here, but I the fight scene with Morpheus and Neo is mirrored so explicitly with his big fight scene with Smith at the end.
Yeah.
He does the Morpheus get yourself in position, and then
and then beckons
the beckon, bring it on move. He does that, but he also has Neo has his bit where he loosens himself up for kind of a more boxing stance, and that shows up. Neo's big epic jump and kick 3 times in midair. The wire work comes up again, and the end of Neo's fight with Morpheus, he's already moving crazy fast, like an agent. He just doesn't realize it yet. And then he has that he swings a right hook or something and pulls the punch right in front of Morpheus's face. In the fight with Smith, we get a repeat of that shot where Neo swings the punch, Smith catches it, and Neo does the epic finger poke of
flick.
doom into his throat, which is
it's so funny.
It's so funny, but you're yeah, funny. Get him. And yeah, and we've talked about how Neo does the dive into the agent. He pulls an agent. He takes over an agent the way that the agents take over human beings in the Matrix. It's just it's cool, man. It's so cool.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It super is. And it's so cool while also, because I promised myself we'd talk about this, how funny this movie is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because it does not take itself too seriously, that you're not going to get that shot of Trinity standing, you cut to the scene where, Neo is almost about to get killed by the agent, and then you just turn the camera as Trinity's there with a gun and says, dodge this.
Yeah.
Or, the finger flick and all sorts of other little moments that are just so nonsensical.
Yeah.
And you're just it really speaks to how well they build and release tension throughout the film and edit around, you have this big action, flick.
Yeah.
Pew! It's so fun.
I love it. You get a lot of comedy, or I say comedy, a lot of humor, I think is probably the better way to look at it. I guess the distinction is difference without distinction. Distinction without...
The pictures are the same.
What am I saying here? Need more coffee. The thing that, the Oracle's entire bit is very, gently funny. Just with how she knows so much. Neo knows almost nothing. And this is where the iconic there is no spoon
Yeah.
And because like there are these kids dressed almost like Hare Krishna monks, shaved
Hmm.
heads, wearing white robes, and they're just bending spoons with their minds like it's nothing.
Yep.
And Neo's able to kind of do it a little bit. And it's like, I don't know how to do that. And they're like, well, you have to remember there is no spoon.
Yep.
And it's like, he's like, whoa. The Keanu, whoa.
Classic.
Classic. And then his whole thing where it's like, he comes into the kitchen where the Oracle is, and she's like, don't worry about it. He's like, worry about what? She's like, the vase. He's like, huh? And immediately knocks over and breaks a vase of
Yes.
flowers.
Hmm.
And he's just like, oh, I'm so sorry. And she's like, I told you not to worry about it. And then they have their entire conversation, and she's got it's like, now what's really going to bake your noodle later is, would you have knocked it over if I hadn't said anything?
Hmm.
Like,
Yep.
love that.
Uh,
Love the whole, she lies to him as well.
yeah.
Like, she
Uh-huh.
full on
She.
lies to him because she
Yep.
knows. Uh, and she's got that bit where it's like, oh, I can see why she likes you. And he's like, huh? And she says, not too bright, though.
Listen, he's pretty. It's fine.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's very cute.
Yeah. The whole, like, idea of, like, prophecy and determination is
Hmm.
the way that they play with that. And the Oracle just being this very kindly woman,
Yeah.
just chain smoking in her kitchen, baking
Yeah.
cookies. Really, really fun.
Yeah. A kindly black woman. I want to make sure we specify.
Yeah.
She's just the keeper of all knowledge. But like there's it's fun too because she says, like you said, she says, I can see why she liked you. And then we learn later that the prophecy that Trinity was given,
Yeah.
of all the prophecies she was given, is you're going to fall in love and he's going to be the one.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, like she
Kind of a
just
pun.
told you. Ah, adorable. Yes,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
He
It's
is
so
the
good.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's like
Uh,
the thing that is weirdly like the thing that gets Neo to like it's Trinity's admission of love, but also her
mhm.
words to him in the real
Yeah,
world while he's apparently dying. Uh is the thing that kind of like gets him to wake up and be like,
yeah,
no, I'm not dead. This is fake.
yeah.
Like,
I'm in a computer program.
yeah,
What's that?
I
Like,
can't die. I've read the
yeah.
script. I'm fine.
My body's just chilling. This is just in my brain. Let's
Yeah.
go. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And the whole
Uh,
like yeah, and the whole bit of like, but what do you mean? So I'll be able to dodge bullets? It's like, no, Neo. When the time comes, you won't have to. And sure enough, he's
yeah,
able to just like stop the bullets in
yeah.
midair,
Hmm.
after already showing he can dodge them.
Yeah.
But yeah, God, so many good bits of.
Hmm.
I'm supposed to be talking about humor, but I just keep getting sidetracked, which is a problem. Um,
I
yeah,
yeah. I think we could also speak a bit of like, because I feel like we should, the way that the agents show up is occasionally very funny.
yeah,
Which they're these really hyper scary, like there's these three dudes in tan suits that are just everywhere at all times. And you have the Agent Smith, played by Hugo Weaving, who has like kind of an emotional breakdown with Morpheus because he's like, I hate it here. I hate
yeah,
my job. Everything is smelly. Everything is gross. I don't want to do this. And the parables around he is of the Matrix, he is the maker of the Matrix, and yet it harms him too, is so interesting and applicable in so many ways.
Well, he's also
But
just a guy
he's
living in the Matrix because that's his job.
yeah.
Like, he doesn't want to do
Even the
this.
all-powerful AI hates his job. Like, oh, buddy,
But
you
it's so
could
funny
stop all
because
this.
he's also like he's middle management. You know, like as subsequent movies reveal, there's like a whole hierarchy of,
Yeah.
you know, he's just an enforcer in here. He's the top
Hmm.
enforcer in here, but uh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love how like it's the huge epic rescue of Morpheus. We get Neo
Oh,
and Trinity show up with the helicopter.
yep.
Uh, there's a minigun in the helicopter. Neo mows down the agents. They don't stand a
Hmm.
chance.
Yeah.
And Morpheus does a Dragon Ball Z power up, breaks the chains that he's holding, and dives out the window. But
Yep.
the agents just immediately load into the SWAT team outside
Hmm.
the building that's just been shot up. I don't know. It's funny. It's good.
It's so good.
Yeah, I love Mouse is the character who like the little guy
Makes the
who
lady in the red dress.
yeah he's
Yeah.
like the programmer, but he's also the source of a bunch of the humor.
Yeah.
Um, did you know?
Probably not.
Well, where I realized this year that I had seen that guy in another place.
Oh no.
And he is in Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones. He's the guy who approaches Obi-Wan Kenobi and says, "Hey, you want to buy some death sticks?" Which is like a meme, iconic meme moment in its
Oh
own right.
gosh.
Um, which is
Glorious.
I don't know why that just tickled me when I found that out.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah,
Now I'm on his IMDb, just like peeking.
yeah,
Oh, persons of interest. That's cool.
yeah.
It's a good collection in his what's we'll call it, his credits. Anyway,
Yeah.
tangent. So many tangents. Yeah, it's cool movie. Cool
Cool
movie.
movie. Movie cool.
Movie
Movie
cool.
good.
Like I don't.
Do you have a favorite moment in the movie?
Oh God! I mean, it's probably gotta be Dodge This because that's just
That's
so.
so
I just
good.
love the shift of the camera. They do such cool camera work in this
Yeah.
movie because they pair it so nicely with the CGI, where it's just like, oh no, Leo's in danger. Spin around to like this really cool angle of Trinity with the gun pointed at
Yeah.
at the Agent Smith, and it's just.
Yeah.
She's just so cool.
It's
Like,
like a,
she's just so cool. Um,
I swear that shot is from like an anime or something. Like
I
it's so
mean,
cool.
I've seen it in anime a million
Yeah.
times. Chicken egg, I don't know. I haven't watched enough anime from.
Yeah.
That's not true. I've watched a lot of anime, but I couldn't point out where it's from.
Yeah.
Um,
I love how that bit too though is like Neo has done his epic dodge
yeah.
and is like still at the agent's mercy, and the agent
Mhm.
has like his cold one-liner of like
Mhm.
only human, and then Trinity immediately tops it with the
Yeah.
dodge this.
So good. Yeah. I will say, my least favorite moment, I do not like the pods, man.
Oh yeah,
Mm-mm.
they're spooky.
Big no.
Yeah.
And the little the shrimp that they I have a thing about tummy buttons. I don't like it. It icks me out. I just fully did not watch that scene. Like
Yeah.
it was playing, I just ignored it. I could not. I can't. It's awful. I'm glad they only do it like it only appears within the first 20 minutes of the movie
Yeah.
because otherwise I think I would cry. Uh, awful.
I think yeah. I love that. I love all the tech
Mm,
is that all the tech that the our heroes have feels very like almost like modern steampunk.
yes.
Like
Cyberpunk.
well,
Sort of?
it's cyberpunk, but it's also like no, yeah, you're right. It's cyberpunk, but it's got like that kind of like cobbled together sort of
Mm-hmm.
hacked a thing together sort of look, and it just
Yeah.
the vibe is incredible. I kind of wish more of our tech looked like tech, like a functional
I know.
piece of equipment versus like smooth and
Ugh.
overly designed. Like I
Down with minimalism.
yeah, we've really lost our
Mhm.
way by forgetting.
Do
I
you
had a
remember
rant.
the Apple computers with like the colored bubbles on
Yeah,
them?
the iMac, the original iMac. I love
Oh,
that.
they were
Yeah,
so good.
even that was like a little over engineered, but oh
Mhm.
god, yeah. The clear shell iMacs, but then also like the clear plastic N64s.
Ah,
Like there
yeah.
was like the
Uh-huh.
atomic purple, I think was the color. I had
Yeah.
that controller. I love that.
Oh, rad.
So I gotta find this comic, but it was like machine. It was like a 2-page strip, but it's like the machines have taken over, and there's like this machine warlord overseeing the enslaved humans,
Mm-hmm.
and he's got like the clear plastic purple shell, and like one of the humans is like, I know this is like not an ideal situation, but that looks sick as hell. And I'm like, yeah, I would be. If the bad guys had cool designs, I'd be like, I gotta give it to them. That is cool. Like,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. God, this is such a millennial rant. Um, yeah. Yeah. God, good movie. Good movie,
good
good.
movie.
Um I think yeah, the set design, like shout out to the set design. Like
Yeah,
similar to Star Wars, when we talked Star Wars, I don't even remember which one. Maybe just all of them.
yeah,
The grittiness of the world, the very used
yeah,
nature of all of the things just felt really incredibly well done. And it's I mean so much of it is practical effect, and so you get that really grounded feel, which is really cool.
yeah,
And I just yeah,
yeah.
so good.
I
So
love all
good.
the sunglasses.
Oh,
I learned recently that the
oh,
sunglasses were all made by like one guy who
nice.
his bid, because they put it out to tender apparently for
Mhm.
producing the sunglasses. He beat out like Ray-Bans and
Yes.
Oakleys or something, and they're like, "Cool, man, we're gonna fly you to Sydney, Australia, and you're just gonna make all our
Yeah.
sunglasses for us for all the characters."
Incredible.
So like Morpheus's little sunglasses that have no
Oh, the nose
armatures,
clip-ons? Oh,
yeah,
those are so
iconic,
cool.
so good.
Okay, there's a moment that I love in this film where they framed, no pun intended, they Morpheus is talking to Neo, and we've got like a straight on shot of Morpheus, but we can see Neo in it, and one side is the blue pill, one side is the red pill, and we can see him like picking between the
In the
two of them
glasses,
in the glasses.
yeah,
Oh,
the
such
reflection,
a good shot.
yeah,
Oh God,
yeah.
so good.
Oh god, the I'm just I think I'm just now. Are we just like doing greatest hits of the Matrix
Yeah,
that we
sure.
talk about?
Why
Yeah,
not? Why not? We have another minute.
the
Like, let's go.
lobby shootout is like iconic.
Ugh, yes.
I love that the whole like what do you guys need? Guns, lots of guns, and like they have an absurd number of
Uh-huh.
firearms.
Uh-huh.
And the whole kickoff where they go through the metal detector, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, can you please remove any metal on your person? And Neil like opens his coat and has like
Ah, yes.
8 pairs of pistols alone.
Oh,
Uh,
it's
because
so
of course
good.
it's tactically, if you're
Hmm.
just shooting a bunch of dudes, it takes less time to drop
Yeah.
the two guns you have and to pick up
Hmm.
new ones than it is to reload.
Yep.
God, and then
What's
so
in
cool.
the holiday, they're cutting the trailer, and she's like, "Where did you get two guns? I didn't think one would be enough."
Yeah,
That's this.
yeah,
Dialed up to 25.
yeah, yeah. The oh man, it's all in
Oh,
so much of it is in slow
so
motion.
good.
Trinity has the cool like wall run.
Oh, yeah.
Neo does the
So
front
rad.
flip and picks up a gun
Mhm.
and does like a handstand. Oh,
Go watch the movie if you
go
haven't.
watch this movie.
What else should you watch if you liked The Matrix? See what I did there? I
Yeah.
did
I think that you should watch Dark City. I can't remember the director's name. Is a kind of like similar vibe in like what is real,
it.
what is fake, what's the real world. Has a ton of like aesthetic similarity, I think. Um, that's worth watching. But also Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, because we did not give a shout out to the fight choreographer Yuan Wu Ping,
Hmm.
who is like a legend of Hong Kong cinema, did a ton of work with Jackie Chan, and would go on to do Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon after this.
Nice.
He developed fight styles for all the characters based on actors' strengths and weaknesses.
Ah.
Keanu Reeves had just had like neck surgery, so he does not kick very much in this movie. Like all his kicks are
Oh.
assisted by wires, so it's like
Yeah.
big movements. Most of his stuff is like uh, just pure fisticuffs.
Hmm.
Um, he built. There's a really cool like bunch of detail here. I'm just gonna pull it up because it's so cool, and it's worth talking about. But like, um, oh god, I had like the whole list of these things, but like he built like Trinity's fighting style around Carrie Ann Moss's like grace. She was apparently like very like nimble and
Mm-hmm.
athletic that way. Uh, Smith's fighting style is just like apparently Hugo Weaving was like, oh yeah, I can do that, and would just like practice something until he nailed it. So it's
Oh,
just like very deterministic, very like
yeah,
blunt as a result. Uh,
beautiful.
Lawrence Fishburne got to have like a really like resilient fight style was
Mm-hmm.
what I was reading because based on like it suits the character because he just does not give
Yeah.
up. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
All that's just so cool.
You can get knocked down as many times as you want. You just got to get back up again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What would you recommend people watch after this?
I would say Inception for some really cool visuals and also that weird like what is reality question all of the things
Yeah,
vibe. I put Memento on the list because it's again I love that question everything. I put Free Guy on the list. I there's a theme.
free.
But it's hilarious. It's funny and also like what is reality,
What
et
if the
cetera, et
Matrix
cetera.
was a comedy? Yeah,
What if right,
yeah.
exactly. And then because I feel like I want to include something that we have already talked about, Alita Battle Angel. And I don't know what it is about that movie that really makes me want to. Maybe it's because you have this like overlord over this entire populace that
Yeah.
has all this hyper control. It's like this really cool visual store, all this thing. But Alita Battle Angel, rad. Also, we did a podcast on
Yeah.
it, which you can find along with the rest of our stuff on Patreon as Coffee and Kurosawa. You can also find us on Blue Sky and Instagram as Coffee Kurosawa Pod. You can find me on Blue Sky, Instagram, and Letterboxd as Farrah Sarpkaya and at sarpkaya.ca where I lend my voice as a voice actor. Ben, where can the people find you?
I'm on Blue Skies at the Benjamon, and on Letterboxd is at Benjamon.
And as we close, block this? No, don't block this. Listen to this. Follow this. Like, follow, comment,
Pod
subscribe. I don't know.
this.
Pod this.